What's up and welcome back to my channel. Now on today's video, we are talking all about productivity, specifically how to be more productive, not only in your business, but also in your life. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna be giving some subscriber shout outs to a few people who inspired today's video. The first one is from Deb, who asked, how do you stay motivated and focused daily with your business while also having a busy life? Teteros, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, says, how do you stay productive and organized when it comes to your business? And then Adela G asks, how do you keep up with a business and a personal life? All great questions, so I am going to be tackling all of that coming right up. And if you have a particular question around productivity or building a business online, content creation, whatever the case may be, just be sure to drop that in the comments below, and I would love to give you a shout out on an upcoming video. Now, before I jump straight into what these tips are, in case you are totally new to me and my channel, what's up? My name is Sherri Brown. I'm the creator of the Moms Marketing Lounge, and it's my passion to really help those busy moms who are on a mission to build a business and get it right the first time. And on this channel, I do everything from product reviews and tutorials, as well as actual social media and marketing strategies you can implement to go further faster when building your business online. So if this kind of seems like it's your jam, then just be sure to subscribe and also hit that bell so you get notified as I upload new videos each and every week. Now, tip number one is not anything you probably haven't heard already, okay? But that is to use a freaking calendar. Now, this could be, depending on what you prefer, it could be either a digital calendar, so maybe you like to keep up with stuff like on your phone digitally. You could use Google Calendar, whatever the case may be, or maybe you're a physical planner type of gal like me. Now, I personally love a physical calendar, I think, or a physical planner, I should say, and I just think there's just, I don't know, something to be said about putting pen to paper. I just feel like it sticks more with me. Now, if you haven't found a planner of choice, there's two I personally recommend. Now, I have been using the Passion Planner since probably the beginning of 2018. I absolutely love it. And then also recently I had Clever Fox Planner reach out to me wanting to kind of do a collab, and so they sent me a planner of my choice. I did a full review on it, which I will not only link above, but I will also link everything that I talk about today, plus more in the description. So just be sure to run through the description after you watch this video. But Clever Fox is another one. Now, it's a little bit smaller, but if you're like me and you kind of want to get a look inside of a planner before you actually buy it, totally get it. But those are the two I recommend. Now, I am starting to use the Clever Fox for a few weeks to see how I like it compared to the Passion Planner, but I really like both. But here's the deal. When it comes to everything that you have to do on a daily, a weekly, a monthly basis, you cannot rely on your memory. If you solely try to rely on your memory and you aren't writing it down or putting it in some type of digital space, like digital calendar, you are going to forget, okay? You're gonna drop the ball. As much as I hate to say it, I've been there and I've done that, and I know personally, if I don't write it down, it doesn't get done. So use some type of planner. Now, the second tip that I have for you when it comes to increasing your productivity and managing both personal and business is determine your priorities and make it a non-negotiable. Now, again, this goes for both your business and your personal life, especially if you're a mom, you've got kids, you've got a household, plus you're also running a side business as well. This is very, very important that you make it a priority. Now, I think this is a very big problem and a reason why most people don't really get ahead as quickly as they want to. It's these excuses that I hear that, well, summer's here and I'll do it once school starts back, or, I'm pushing everything back and I'm kind of taking a break because Thanksgiving's here, or it's Christmas break or fall break or spring break or whatever break it may be. And again, this is especially true for moms. So just remember the saying, okay? This is a quote that I read that I absolutely love, and to my core, I believe wholeheartedly. And it says, you always have time for things that you put first, okay? You always have time for things that you put first. So if it is not a priority, if your business is not a priority, of course, you're gonna let things slip, you're gonna let them fall by the wayside. But on the other hand, if you treat your business like an actual business, you make it a non-negotiable, just like you would when you have to get your kids up and have them at school by a certain amount of time, or you have a doctor's appointment, your kids have a doctor's appointment, or whatever the case may be, if you make it a non-negotiable, you're going to be a lot more likely to stick with it even when you don't freaking feel like it. Like, I don't feel like getting up every single day and, taking my little girl to school. I mean, I love taking her to school, but she likes to sleep in. So she's not a morning person. She's a tad grumpy, total opposite of me. So yeah, there would be a lot of other things I want to do versus wrestling her like a little alligator in the mornings, getting her off to school. So I want you to be really honest with yourself and ask, are you really making your business priority, or do you tend to put your business on the back burner? Do you tend to put family sometimes on the back burner and allow other things to creep up and consume your time? So final tip here before I move on to tip number 3 is to stay consistent, okay? Stay consistent even when you don't feel like it, because nobody ever feels like it 100% of the time. But if you're constantly starting and stopping, you're playing this game of starting and stopping with your business, every time something else creeps in, or every time there's a break or school's out or whatever the case may be, then it's going to be hard as hell for you to create any type of momentum in your business. Tip number 3, remove the impossible, never-ending to-do list that you continue to put on your plate. And I know I have in the past too, so I totally feel you. And instead, narrow your focus. Now, sure, there are, some things that may stay the same that you do every single week on a particular day, but then other things, that can change from day to day and week to week and month to month, depending on what you're actually working on. So I'm going to give you an example. So take, for instance, on Mondays. Mondays, without fail, have become the day that I do YouTube videos. This is the day that I put up a new video on my YouTube channel. So my sole focus on Mondays every single week, and this does not change, is I sit down and I create an outline, and I record the video, I edit the video, I upload the video, and I promote the video, then I email it to my list. That is something that never changes. However, if I were to actually look back and, YouTube aside, my Monday content creation day aside, and I think about what my focus was, say last month, or for really the past 9 months for that matter, it's been creating my program called the Mom's Marketing Lounge. And so last month, the entire focus was just getting that program finished. It is a 6-module program, 42 plus lessons, all about really how to get started online and making sure that you have a solid foundation for your business. And so, once I completed that program, moved to last week, for example, once I got it completed, I am doing webinars to promote it. So webinars is a great way to not only help people and give them more of an in-depth training, but also it's a way to build my email list and bring people into my program. And so last week, the focus was, once I had that YouTube video done, then it was creating this 60-minute training. Titled it Your 5-Step Online Marketing Plan to Put Your Business on the Social Media Map. And for me, I knew that was an area that a lot of people struggle. 2 things that people really come to me for that I hear over and over and over is, number 1, they struggle when it comes to time management. Number 2, they feel all over the place, they feel lost, and they don't really know where to start. So that's why I created this particular program. Now, this week, the focus has shifted now that I have created that masterclass. So this week, the focus is a little bit different outside of my Monday YouTube content day. This week, it's all about tweaking the webinar, where it needs to be tweaked, tweaking some of the slides, getting it out there, promoting it. It's running Facebook ads and things like that. So again, you can see how your focus can shift from week to week and month to month, depending on, what your business goals are and what you're working on like right now. Now, there are some specific things that I do on a daily basis. So I am on social media every single day. Now, I'm not spending hours and hours on end, but I am, inside of my Facebook group, my free community, which is Back to the Basics community. I also have a private Facebook group for my MML VIP members, where every single week I do group coaching. So I'm with them on like a face-to-face Zoom. And then I'm also going inside of that group every single day, coaching in the comments where people are getting stuck or if they need help. So that's just kind of like a daily thing I do, just like brushing my teeth. So again, there will be some things that, stay the same that you do just on a daily basis, but then there are going to be things that you can do and you can kind of break it up. Now, I also did another video that I will link right above in the cards and below if you just want to get a glimpse on how I mapped out one particular week. You can kind of see how I did that, and I give you some tips and show you like how I put it on my calendar. Feel free to check that out too. But the big takeaway with this particular tip is, instead of trying to cram everything that you want to do and try to knock everything out in a single day, which is pretty much always going to be impossible and it's going to leave you stressed, create daily focuses. Now, the fourth tip is to set office hours. Now, this is going to be a big if you can. So depending on if you have an outside job or if you work from home. Now, I personally work from home. And I will tell you that, this can be a little bit harder when school's out. So at the time of recording this video, we are still on summer break. School's going to be starting here in a few weeks. And it is a lot easier to set office hours when school's in session. Now, when my little girl goes back to school, she's going to be going into first grade. My office hours are Monday through Friday when she's actually in school. And after that, I make it a priority. And this is very, very big when it comes to, the key question of, well, how do you kind of like manage your business and personal life and trying to get everything done? My thoughts are, if I can't get what I need done during the school week, during school hours, then there's a problem, okay? So if you're creating certain priorities in your business and you're making sure that you're focusing on the most important things that's going to move you forward and not just a bunch of busy work, you absolutely can crush it and be ultra productive, okay? When my little girl gets out of school, that's when I stop working. And I wanna make sure that when my husband gets home, I'm not sitting here and I'm not like on my phone messaging or on my computer all night. So I kind of make it to where in the morning, I set my office hours, and while she's in school, I get that done. And then nighttime is for family. So whether we sit around and we watch TV or whether we eat dinner, and I have a no phone rule when we are eating, like all devices have to be down. Let's have some conversation. Or we might jump out. Behind us, we have a golf course. So, we might go out there and ride around on the golf court with my husband, or in the summer, we'll, go outside and swim. We've got a pool in the backyard, a stocked pond in the front of the house, so we can go fishing. So there's lots to do that we can kind of just, like have that family time too. And I think, that really goes back to making, like, when you're looking at your priorities, don't just think priorities when it comes to business. You also have to make time for your family as well. Have quality time, whether that be a date night with your significant other, your spouse, or whether it be a family day. Now, I will add, just as a quick little bonus tip in case you're a mom with small kids. Now, in the summer, whenever, I don't really set office hours in the summer. I just have, again, a particular focus for the day. So I know that today the goal is get this video up, make sure that it's good, get it out, and then the rest of the day, I am going to kind of, spend with my family. Tip number 5, set boundaries and don't be afraid to say no. You have to determine what you will and will not allow. It's like that quote, you train people how to treat you, right? And I used to remember back when I first started building online, this was when I was solely doing like just network marketing. I wasn't coaching. I didn't have, any courses or students that I was actually teaching. And I remember all throughout the day, if anybody messaged me, like I would have my dinger on and, my Facebook messages would go off and I would immediately think that like I had to respond right then. And I felt really guilty if I didn't, because I was always thinking, well, oh my gosh, I'm going to miss out on a sale. When in actuality, like that was not, that I had no boundaries back then. And it was causing issues between my little girl. She was getting upset. It was really getting on my husband's nerves. And it was just like a constant, I just wasn't able to turn it off. So set boundaries. And again, those boundaries for me go back to the previous tip. I have certain things that, that I need to get done in a day. And outside of that, I no longer feel guilty. If I have a little bit of time at night, I might go in, check the Facebook group or respond to a couple of students. If my little girl's like busy, maybe she's got a friend over or they're playing or whatever, I might sit down. If my husband's golfing, and I might check. But if I don't, I don't feel guilty. It's still going to be there. So make sure that you're setting healthy boundaries for yourself that's not only going to benefit your business, but also your family. Tip number 6. Now, this is a little tool that I'm going to give you, especially when it comes to, personal development. I am huge on, watching videos and going through like training courses and things like that. But I downloaded a Chrome extension called Video Speed Controller, okay? And what Video Speed Controller allows you to do, and I did a in-depth tutorial on exactly like how to use it, which I'll link above in the cards again, and I'll also put below in the description, but it allows you to speed up any video on the internet. Now, when it comes to YouTube, you can actually, if you're on a desktop or if you have like an iPad or maybe a tablet, you can do it. You can change the settings like right in the bottom right-hand corner of the video. You can go in and like increase or decrease the speed, but a lot of the times when it comes to like if you consume any content over on Facebook Live, or maybe you're going through an online course and the settings aren't there to allow you to speed it up, that's what Video Speed Controller does, okay? And I'm from the South, I am country, and I tend to speak slow, so I totally get like people needing to speed up some of my videos. But what it has allowed me to do is consume like training videos in twice the time, right? So I'm able to get through more training depending on who the trainer is, because some trainers who talk really fast, I'm just like, dude, I cannot put you on like double speed. But there's a lot of other trainers that I do that for, and again, it allows you to just get through the content quicker. So I've got 3 more tips for you. Moving on to tip number 7, and that is outsourcing, okay? It's like that saying, it takes a village. It really freaking takes a village. Not only for a business, but also if you have kids and if you're a mama, okay? And I'm a firm believer when it comes to outsourcing. I have a lot of people who say like, dude, you're the outsourcing queen. I outsource a hell of a lot of things. Now, when I say outsourcing, I'm not only talking things that you can outsource and get help with in your business, but also in your life as well. So I'm going to give you a few examples. I have a graphic designer. So a lot of the times, like when it comes to specific graphics for my online course, or like I am not super creative. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there. So I will have somebody create graphics for me. I also have a video editor. Now here lately, I have been editing a lot of my own videos, but if I want to do like a really good video with, fancy editing and things like that, I had a video editor for a long time who was editing all of my YouTube videos. So video editing, I also have someone, a customer support role inside of my MML program, and she is the one that handles all of the customer support. If there's any type of issues, or making sure that everybody knows like where to go, or if they have a question on billing, like I don't want to sit here and spend my time, like it's not the best use of my time to do a bunch of like customer support type stuff. So I hired her to go in and do that. Now, there's a lot of other things that you can actually outsource when it comes to your business. I also have a general VA who sometimes he'll throw up and make sure that I've got subtitles on my videos and other things like that. He might transcribe particular videos for me. But when it comes to my life, my personal life, because there's always, let's face it, there's always a million things that we have to do. I've hired somebody to come in and clean my house on a weekly basis. We have somebody that comes over here that mows our yard. Our property is about 4 acres, and so we have somebody that comes and does that. We have somebody that comes and opens our pool and closes our pool. And there's all kinds of things that you can do, even in your personal life, to free up some time so that you can either be more productive in your business or free up some time to where you can spend more time with the people that you love. Now, if you feel totally clueless when it comes to outsourcing, then just let me know in the comments like some of the questions that you have around just outsourcing in general. And again, I will do my best to give you a subscriber shout out and create a upcoming video just for you. Now, tip number 8 is to work when you feel most productive, and not when you feel most productive, but when you are most productive. And here's what I mean by that. Now, I am a morning person by nature. I am always most productive in the mornings. Like the later the day, the more I start petering out. Like I don't think as clearly. I'm not at full capacity, like mid-afternoon on up to like the evening, okay? So generally when I do any type of work, that's why I love also working during school hours, because that's when I am my most productive self. That's when I'm most creative. That's when I can, tend to get more done, have more clarity, have more creativity. Now for you, you might be kind of a night owl, and let me know below in the comments like which one you are. Are you more like a night person or more of like a morning person? My assistant, take for instance, my customer support rep for my MML program, she is a night owl. She likes to stay up. She is most productive at night. That's when she is the most creative. So think about when you are most creative, and that is when I would try to schedule in like things that you need to do for your business, okay? So now my last and final tip is to tweak. And keep tweaking until you find what works for you, okay? Because I don't think there is a one size fits all when it comes to how to be more productive, okay? So I know that there are a lot of people who love the Pomodoro method, where you set a time clock and you race against the clock and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it works for a lot of people. I tried it. It wasn't the best fit for me. And so take some of these tips. You may take a few of these tips, implement them, absolutely love them, and then maybe a couple of other tips like you're like, you know what, that just isn't going to work for me in, in the season that I'm in my business. Maybe setting office hours, just you can't set dedicated office hours, and that's totally fine. So this tip is just to find what works for you and keep tweaking. So with that being said, that is all for today's video. Let me give a quick little recap. So tip number one was use a calendar. Tip number 2, determine your priorities in both life and business and make it non-negotiable. Tip number 3, remove the endless to-do list. Instead, narrow your focus. Tip number 4 was set office hours if you can. Tip number 5, set boundaries and don't be afraid to say no. Just remember, everything that you say yes to, you're saying no to something else, okay? That goes back to determining those priorities. Tip number 6, video speed controller. Download it. Get through videos quicker, okay? Tip number 7, outsource, whether it be in your business, whether it be in your life. Remember, it takes a village. You can have it all, but you can't do it all, okay? Tip number 8, work during your most productive hours when you are most productive. And tip number 9, tweak, keep tweaking and keep tweaking until you find what works for you. If you like these tips and you got some value, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. What you waiting for? Last but not least, if you are somebody who you're still struggling when it comes to productivity, but you also you have these big dreams and you have these big goals when it comes to moving your business forward. Maybe you are an entrepreneur, you're a coach, you're a network marketer, whatever the case may be, but you feel a little all over the place when it comes to this whole online marketing thing, which can, let's face it, sometimes tend to be a little overwhelming. Be sure to register for my upcoming masterclass, which I already kind of talked about earlier in this episode. where I'm going to give you your 5-step online marketing plan to put your business on the social media map. All of it is below. Hope you have the most epic and the most productive day and week, and I'll see you back here next week for another video. Bye for now.